I'm here for a lot of reasons. One is I don't think it's fair for West Virginia to have one senator and Florida to have three.
A popular president coming out swinging and landing powerful political punches.
Who is going to make the right choices? You only have one candidate that has any kind of record in all four of those areas, and he's the guy sitting behind me. You have got to elect him to the United States Senate.
And Governor Joe Manchin bringing former President Bill Clinton in to stop for him in this campaign while trying to distance himself from the current president.
I'm mad at Washington. I'm mad at the Democrats and Republicans in Washington that are putting their party and they put their own self-interest before they put the country.
And a campaign stop may have worked to get these seats filled.
I probably wouldn't come if it was Obama.
Why not?
I don't care for him. I did not vote for him.
I am a big supporter of Joe Manchin, and I'm a big fan of Bill Clinton, so I wanted to come out and support.
Now, Manchin did tell this crowd here today that he would repeal parts of the health care bill if he does make it to Washington. He says he's upset about parts surrounding Medicare and also the mandates that are in that health care bill. And Kerry, he also voiced his disapproval with the cap and trade bill.
All right, thank you, Callie. Well, Manchin's opponent, John Gracie, released this statement in response to Clinton's visit. He says Joe Manchin is shameless. 4 hours before his campaign made the announcement that President Clinton would campaign for him, Joe Manchin was on MSNBC telling Andrea Mitchell that he doesn't want President Obama in West Virginia because he runs his own campaign here. Is there anything this guy won't flip-flop on? Now, the two will face off in a debate along with Mountain Party candidate Jesse Johnson next Monday.
So that's what she was just saying. There's a debate coming up this coming Monday that's going to have Joe Manchin, Racy, and Jesse Johnson. So the quick backstory for you folks. I'm born and raised West Virginia boy. When Robert Byrd died, the governor of West Virginia decided he wants that Senate seat, so he resigned from the governorship. He is running for the Senate. He's now up against a well-funded Republican challenger, a guy with the last name of Racy. And the joke that Clinton makes in there is it's not fair for West Virginia to have one senator because Byrd's dead and we only have Rockefeller, God help us, John D. Rockefeller IV, Standard Oil, eugenics, Nazi connections, yes. And for Florida to have three, the joke being that Racy essentially is a rich guy, his wife and kids all live in Florida, he's basically an out-of-stater, and he's not a West Virginian. That kind of simply makes the decision. This debate with Mountain Party candidate Jesse Johnson should be interesting. Jesse Johnson is on Facebook. I'm connected to him through facebook.com/Media Monarchy. I can't remember his URL immediately. But there's so much there, and there's so much that literally affects me where I'm from and where I live. Connected to this, the other thing you may have heard about, GOP pulls West Virginia Senate ad with hickey actors. The company basically in their actors call wanted people hickey looking. And once the news broke, they had to pull it. And then, of course, Manchin and the Democrats could attack them, saying these out-of-staters are basically looking for hick actors. Almost heaven. Oy. Our last note of West Virginia worry and our last note on this massive news purge, Massey Energy again fails surprise mining inspection. Massey Energy, of course, connected to the Upper Big Branch mine that killed some 2+ dozen miners earlier this year in April in West Virginia. Quickly now, our last two posts I just have to briefly mention, and again, as is true with pretty much everything on this radio show. It's a jam-packed 2 hours, but there's even more research and reading and video and audio and research for you to go check out yourself. This story somehow took off amazingly and has a bunch of comments. MediaMonarchy.com doesn't get a whole lot of comments, although I welcome them. Insane Clown Posse claim they've been evangelical Christians all along. This article is from The Guardian. However, it's written by John Ronson, he of The Men Who Stare at Goats, who also snuck into Bohemian Grove with Alex Jones, who, while he feigns lip service to alternative news and investigative journalism, he's also just kind of a hired debunker, it seems. So, the Insane Clown Posse, John Ronson, and God have created a controversy loaf that smells pretty fishy to the multitudes. Again, I wish I could spend more time on all of these stories. We'll close out with History Mystery and the post that, again, it comes from the past, but it illuminates our present and hopefully not our future. Kent State tape recording reveals gunshots by FBI informant. Revelations prompt congressional inquiry thanks to, of course, Kucinich in Ohio. A tape recording of the 1970 shooting deaths of 4 Kent State University students by Ohio National Guardsmen reveals the sound of a pistol shot 70 seconds earlier. If we jump down, we'll see that Terry Norman, a Kent State student photographer, taking pictures of protesters that day for the FBI on their payroll, was carrying a loaded .38 caliber revolver under his coat. He said he fired it when he felt nervous. So you again have FBI-connected, intelligence-connected dupes and assets, useful idiots, causing a catalyzing catastrophic event. We'll blow it out with the other related, posted at the bottom, history mystery notes. Canada's secret Cold War plan included mass detentions. Surprise, surprise. A stunning alternative history of the past half millennium comes from edwardnearson.wordpress.com. Comes from an amazing radio show, and we close it out with a clip that we don't have time for, but you can watch it thanks to Brass Check TV and the amazing documentary called Spin by a guy named Brian Singer that I think we focused on very, very, very early on the Media Monarchy radio show. Their latest video is Columbus Day sanitized, going into the media's cover-up of the real questions surrounding Columbus Day, which we just had this past Monday. And, of course, that's really the stopper to so many of our questions and debates of, oh, we really need to get back to our roots of taking over someone else's land. That's a hard and bitter pill to swallow, my friends, and that's how we're going to close out this 190th episode of MediaMonarchy.com. We'll quickly note the couple of creepy customers traveling and visiting and logging into MediaMonarchy.com in the past week. The Department of Homeland Security out of Alexandria, Virginia, Googled Noble Eagle Exercise, and of course, headquarters USAISC, this time out of Manhattan, Kansas. Hit me up via Facebook.com/MediaMonarchy. You should not be surprised, my friends. You know all the things I feel. If you're a long-time listener, if you're new, of course, welcome you aboard. None of this is possible without you. We all have to work together and use these tools while we can and keep this going while we can. There is some type of revolution going on. There is some type of paradigm shift going on, but we need to incite a revelation and ultimately be the change we want to see in the world. My name's James Evan Pilato. I'm your host and webmaster of the site and show, MediaMonarchy.com, reminding you, as always, don't hate the media. Become the media. Take care.
MediaMonarchy.com is your source for alternative news, politics, conspiracies, and cover-ups. Featuring weekly radio shows on the Portland Radio Authority, PRAradio.org, the World Next Week video series with CorbettReport.com, plus special interview episodes, B-sides, mixtapes, and so much more. Send news tips to MediaMonarchy@gmail.com. You can make a donation, or mail media to the Monarchy, at P.O. Box 12165, Portland, Oregon 97212. Thanks to all the internet and community radio stations who broadcast these shows, and most of all, thanks to you. Remember, don't hate the media, become the media.
Whether he went on with the diary, or whether he did not cooperate, made no difference. The thought police would get him just the same.